Hey, y'all, it's Coach V, the Work Activator, and thank you for joining me this morning. So, I just want to have a real conversation with you guys. Those of you who don't know me, I'm a mom of three, I'm an entrepreneur, and I am walking in my becoming, just journeying through life and just taking it one day at a time. And this has been on my mind quite a lot lately because I don't know, for some reason I feel things are changing a little bit in the atmosphere. And I just needed a moment to kind of download some thoughts and thought the best way would be to share those with you. So I'm wondering, have you ever looked at your life and just thought, wow, this is not what I expected? This is not what I thought it would be. I don't know if I'm in a season of transitioning. And I know I use the word transitioning and becoming a lot. When I use the word becoming, it's more of me building each day, meaning learning, learning to nurture myself, self care, self worth, raise my children, becoming. That's always going to be a part of life. I have not reached the level of completion. I feel as long as I am on this earth and God has given me breath, that I will not reach the moment of completion until that day comes when I die, you know? So every day I feel everyone should be honestly becoming. We should be striving to become better than we were yesterday. And that's why I use becoming a lot. As for me right now, I just feel like when I have an actual reflection on life and just how far I've come along, there's three things that come to mind. And the one thing that sticks out to me is just the fact that just sometimes life doesn't always go as you plan it to go. And I'm sure you guys have heard sometimes different perspectives from different people because sometimes naturally I feel that one would assume if you're rebuilding, you made bad choices. So there's a little bit of undertone with that comes with that. But it could be sometimes that life simply just shifts. Why is it that someone had to do something wrong or bad or make a decision and it was wrong? Because, in my opinion, as a mom, especially a single mom, just the word single mom alone usually brings apprehensiveness, awkwardness, and a lot of people don't want to touch on that single mom because there are a lot of single moms, should be told, but you don't always know how they became single moms. Was it a choice? Were they married? So, little stigma behind that. And I feel like for some women right now, a lot of us did try. We tried to build the right way, if there is such a thing. For me, I think, from traditionally speaking, as a mom that was married, it was always a thought process that you will marry first before you have children in my household, in my family. So when I say traditional, I often think that is relevant to what my family meant by that, not wanting you to seek to have children before marriage. So that's kind of normal within my family of what the expectations are. Not all the time are those expectations met, but again, that's life. And it's based on your own decisions personally. So to each his own. In this day and time, you have moms still doing it, still doing the things, still doing what they have to do, you know? So, yeah, that is the biggest assumption that I would say. We out here rebuilding our lives because of relationships failed, whatever the reason. You just have to take the horse by the reins and just do what you must, And because sometimes life genuinely doesn't unfold the way you imagined it would. And that could honestly be anyone. It could be anyone. And the second thing, biggest thing with motherhood and being a mom, motherhood doesn't stop just because life changed. I have to remember that sometimes. Sometimes I wake up and I have all my schedule and itinerary laid out before me. And realistically, in the real world, you'll be able to go, do. And you have these schedules. And from anything I've talked about on my channel is about alignment and building a home in peace and not having any sort of uprising and confusion on a daily basis. And realistically, I can't control what my children do to a certain extent, whether they're going to have a bad day or good day tomorrow, or if one is going to get sick or be ill. Of course, those are things that we cannot control. But meaning just because something happens or changes, it doesn't mean my responsibilities just disappear. They're still there. And being a mom requires a lot of pivot. It requires a lot of pivots. In times you're uncertain, and sometimes, like I said, things are going to happen. And while you can't always have all the solutions right away, you can know how to pivot. You know how to pivot. And we have to often stop and pause to think about all of that too sometimes. So it can always be a little rough. And yeah, motherhood, rebuilding, one in the same, doing it in the same time in real time. And I think that a lot of times when our lives change, the motherhood doesn't pause. You still have to keep moving forward. You still have to make the decisions and create a life of stability for those kids. And you're still probably in the midst of trying to figure out who you are too after that heartbreak or after that transition or after the last pivot you did. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with trying to figure out what it is that you want to, sis. So don't ever feel obligated to have all the answers at one time, because you probably won't ever have all the answers at one time, because we can only do one thing at a time. And I want us to normalize loving ourselves deeply and giving ourselves credit for how far we've came as moms. And you have to know that, like, just because you're in this transitional phase of rebuilding, it doesn't mean you failed. It doesn't mean that you're too late. And life looking different doesn't mean that life is over. I think I need to say that again for myself. Just because life looks different does not mean that life is over. You can still create something aligned and very beautiful with yourself. And I know for me, I've never really considered myself failing at life, but I have wondered, like, man, if I'd have did A, B, and C then, where would I be now? I've asked those questions. And I don't know if it was sheer out of curiosity or if it was really out of not doing it that I question myself. And now, to prevent me questioning myself about what I should have, could have done as I'm moving forward with my life, I will write down quickly, hey, why don't you do that, Fee? Is that something you're interested in? I'll write little notes to myself to remind me to go back and review some of the things I say that I once wanted to do that I never got the opportunity to. Because one thing I've learned lately, life is so short. Life is so short and it's so precious. And just growing and doing what I can to help my children experience the rest of what could be a great life for them is my biggest yeah, one of my biggest things I can say that I would ever accomplish is be able to give them some of the pure things, exciting things that I was not able to get while I was growing up. And as a mom, you want nothing but the best for your children, you know? And sometimes that does look like sacrificing what you want temporarily to do something you know that they need. And I'm a strong advocate of that. And I have done that for my kids. But did I forget about myself? No. I went back to me. Always go back to yourself, mama, because you have to take care of the kids, yes, but you still need that time for yourself. You still need that me time. And that's going to be very important each day as a mom for us all to remember to take a break, pause. You know, life is going to life, sis. And the best thing I can do is tell you is to just make sure you're prepared for it and enjoy the ride, enjoy the building, enjoy the stages of the awkward moments where you're not sure of, uh, not really sure if this is this, but okay, Lord, I trust you. Just keep going. Doesn't matter how slow you're moving, how fast, just keep going. You know, I think God's at the forefront of a lot of things. We're able to make a lot of sound decisions on things. So keep the faith and yeah, enjoy this ride. Enjoy it. Now, lately, I try to focus on a lot of the good things and where I foresee my life in a year from now. And that excites me because I'm dreaming big. But at the same time, you can dream all day, but you have to take action, right? Have to take action. Yeah. So, sis, I know this was not really a long, in depth conversation, but kind of just wanted to get some thoughts out of my mind and clear the space. And I thank you guys for tuning into my channel and just being a part of this journey and just listening. And I just want to say to moms out there, if life didn't go the way you imagined, but you still are choosing to build anyway, kudos to you. And I just want you to know that you are definitely not behind. You are just rebuilding, and you're rebuilding with a firm foundation. And that firm foundation is going to be the start to something truly amazing unfolding for you as you continue to grow, learn, and become. Super exciting to see where this goes. As thank you guys for tuning in. I'm Coach V, the Worth Activator, and I coach single moms and women to help them restore their worth, walk in their faith, and walk in their divine God-given purpose each day. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one.